Hey, what's up? This is Amazin.reacts, reacting to a brand new video on my channel. Today's video is titled Evil Parents. Uh, I guess nothing further needs to be said. We just finna get into it.
It will endanger other people if you don't follow orders.
What if President Trump orders a squad of army guys to walk down the street killing anyone they see? They should do it?
No.
Yes.
Oh,
Mom?
Yes.
she thought about
What?
So they're talking about folks in America.
it. Hey, listen. When it comes to situations like this, it's not funny because it's crazy because there's people that think that way and they are voting and they pretty much represent because younger generation don't want to get out and vote. So these are the people who are representing us as Americans. But for the most part, for them being older people, I really think the older guy and like I really think that they probably was like, yeah, we about to show these guys what patriotism is. And they was just trying to be absolutely loyal to the president. But they gotta realize that sometimes people in the positions of power, whether it's Senate, House Representative, President, sometimes they do things that are unconstitutional or they figure out ways to get around the Constitution. So whenever you just putting blind faith in the people, it may not be as what you seen. But for them, like back in the day when it was like harder to get away with stuff like that, or it may be easier to get away with stuff like that, then you could kind of have sort of like that blind loyalty toward a cause. But in this situation, like now, like no, you couldn't be just shoot somebody and you just okay it with no questions.
They're not talking overseas when they're saying this stuff. So this family is one of the most fascinating families for me because they have
Oh,
this
it's their
podcast,
actual
and
family.
two of their kids live in California, and the two other ones are in Oklahoma, and they're like very big MAGA parents. And it is the most fascinating, insane podcast possible.
Should members of military follow unlawful orders?
Yes.
What?
They should follow any order that the president gives.
Even if it breaks laws?
And let me see what they got to
The
say.
soldiers are not
Supposed to.
under the president. They're not supposed to just serve. It's not the president. So if the president is doing some crazy, they're not.
Yeah,
That's not who
we
they
got separation of
plead
power for a reason,
allegiance to.
and they
There's
can't
also
even
the
do
second
anything that's
aspect. The soldiers are
unlawful.
not supposed to follow unlawful orders. They have that
Yes.
responsibility.
Mhm.
Now, anyone who's been in the military knows that that's a bit of a blurred line.
Yes.
In that they do demand
Robin
obedience to such a high level where a lot of the training is like if I say jump, you say how high. But then there's also that little
But listen, whenever it's a situation in the military, like when they say jump, you say how high. That's still lawful. Like it's still stuff that you can do. Like when it's training and stuff like that, exercise to better yourself, stuff like that. Yeah, they may blur the line, but when it comes to situation like what they're talking about, there is no blur line. People, not to do anything that's unlawful.
caveat, which is like, but if the order is unlawful, in the psyche of a soldier, for a vast majority of them, is a hard one to discern.
It's
And that's why
really
you see a
not.
lot of combat
I've been
situations or a lot of
in
different
the
situations
military. It's
overseas
really
or
not.
locally. There's a conflict there, but they'll generally veer towards following the order.
I don't even understand. Like, how can you?
The only reason you would follow some orders is because they've been vetted by officials as far as like the Constitution. Now, if it's something like, oh, just shoot this random person, of course, no, you're not gonna do that because there's been no one. There's no reason to do it, and that's against the law. So you wouldn't do it. It wouldn't be a situation where you're like, oh, well, I got my orders from the higher. Like it don't work like that.
Come to that conclusion.
Sounds to me like you lefties are now beginning to fear the fact that the military is going to get involved and your asses are grass.
But wait a minute, you're okay with what if Donald Trump says, "I want you to carpet bomb Oklahoma City, kill everyone." You think the Air Force should carry that out?
Yes. There might be a reason we don't know.
This is
cannot
insane.
be this stupid. Jesus fucking Christ.
Now the only thing this is funny, only reason why this is funny is because these are their kids. If these have been like two random people interviewing these older people, because sometimes I do hate when like media will do things. It seems like they'll pick like the dumbest or stupid looking people and put them on and interview them so they can get like a crazy clip or something wild that they can like repost everywhere and stuff like that. I hate when they do that because I feel like they're picking on a certain type of people that seem like they're not. as privy to what's going on, and they give them a platform to kind of embarrass themselves. But in this situation, it's them and their parents, and it's kind of like what would happen if you would give like a family reunion, like if you were recording or streaming a family reunion, like when you get together with older generation and see their views on things. So I do like this dynamic that they're doing, but I these parents are answering these questions horrible. Like this is wrong.
Yeah, and you see there, guys, you are witnessing a girl, a little girl. Bear with me, because she's a woman. I know you're witnessing a little girl becoming an adult. Because an adult is realizing that your parents sometimes are stupid. They're not the big thing that you thought they were. They're not. Oh, my
Yeah,
dad is the
sometimes parents
strongest.
get it
Sometimes
wrong.
you see. Oh yeah, no. Sometimes my dad pussy. And sometimes you think that your parents are doing great work and you're like, nah, they failed at some point. You know what I mean? And sometimes you have to
I
think
mean, you can't
through your
necessarily say the
parents.
parents fail
You're gonna
because
look at your parents,
children
you're gonna be
seem
like,
to
what the
understand
what
like
was that?
how bad this
This
is that
cannot
they're
be the same
answering the
two people
questions
that
like that.
raised me. You cannot be this stupid. The way she said that, you cannot. You cannot. It's everything leaving her body. She's like, oh my God, they are this stupid. Those realizations are tough, man.
My. This podcast was going well until that.
Are you kidding?
Until you guys said it's
Are
fine
you
for.
kidding? You just said it's cool. We fucking levels Oklahoma. You're like, yeah, fuck it. There must be a reason. Like,
They
you
stay in
really
Oklahoma.
can't be that dumb.
You know what the problem is?
What's the problem?
What is it?
Mom and I don't believe he'll ever blow up Oklahoma because we're on his side and so's the whole state.
No.
And that line for me fascinates me.
See, no, I don't know if it fascinates, but it do. That's why he answering it the way he is. That's why he answering it kind of like a ashholist type of manner. Is because he just said that he don't think that it happened, and like he probably like give me some real hypotheticals, and then I'll answer them.
Because I think that underpins the vast majority of the people who cheer on the cruelty that they witness, is that they're convinced it's only going to be against other people. And so when they see government
Yeah, now
overreach, when
I
they
no,
see
you do got a point
violence or
because it's starting
assumed
to happen to
cruelty
just
against
everyday
kids or
Americans.
people of a different shade, different ethnicity, different nationality, they're going to celebrate because it's never going to be me. So it's not the behavior that they're necessarily in love with, it's who it's against. But when it's their turn, all of a sudden the behavior's a problem, right? And this man is weaponizing this even against his kids because they're a different political affiliation. That's how. So his label for political affiliation to him is more important than his relationship with his idea as a father. It's not racial.
Eh, true, and I do think it'd be interesting to see what it's like. Like for like I feel like the conversations and stuff in a room full of like whenever you get like a family gathering where people are on different sides of the political landscape, like some are Democrats, some are Republican. I do think it makes for a way better like family reunion whenever they interact and they're arguing amongst each other about things like this. As long as it don't get violent or nothing. So which their family so probably won't. It'll just be like a lot of banter back and forth.
Inherently. That's why,
There? No.
no, in general. Like a lot of it, they don't care if it happens to Renee Good. They don't care if it happens to
No, they don't care.
whoever.
You're
If
against
you're,
us.
yes, it is very much. There's
But like I
racism in
said,
our
that's
things
that
like that,
old school
but
patriotism
it's not the defining
that you
factor. No,
can't
soul
be in.
determining one.
You
No,
can't
no,
use this on
yeah,
because it's a lot of
Why are
people
you
that's been too
worried and
crooked.
afraid? Because you live in a state where it might happen.
Okay, let's
Where?
theoretically
Oh,
say that does
California.
happen. Let's say Trump sends in the Marines to Los Angeles, California, and let's say I'm out going to see a movie on a weekend, and he says,
And you
go into
better
that
get the
shopping
fuck
mall.
under a truck.
Shut up, quiet piggy. He says, go into that shopping mall and kill everyone you see. And let's say I get gunned down by the Marines for just
Okay,
being at a
number
mall.
one,
All
Hey,
four.
let's do
Listen, I know the dad is playing. He just kind of fed up with these hypotheticals. Like you got to give him a different type of hypothetical that's a little bit more realistic as to what's going on today. Like for instance, use something that happened in Minnesota where you was he could just be trying. Well, no, because that guy was protesting, but it has to be something that was a little bit more realistic to like s- somebody was doing something just like a everyday, a normal thing, and then an incident happened, which honestly that rarely happens. Normally it is some back and forth we just get the instance of when the actual drama or the actual like bad stuff happened. We just see that clip and we don't see the stuff that lead up to it. So some of the scenarios that they're given, it's not likely that it's gonna happen.
Just take
Okay,
it one
Dad.
step
Wait a minute,
further.
Mom. Wait one
That's
second. Wait one second. Dad just hang on, Mom.
hang on.
Dad, you just said you are for Donald Trump murdering me for no reason, and you would support that.
If he walks into a mall to kill people with military,
There has to be a reason.
there's a reason, and I'm all for it. And the
What if the
people in
reason is
Los
crushing
Angeles,
dissent?
California, are as deserving of execution as the fucking assholes in New York City. You're all
Including me.
fucking communists.
That's a cult. That's a cult.
Again,
Damn, he's
I
dead.
think
You would
OG
support a
is just
man who would
old
kill me,
school talking
and you
shit
went,
because he
that's
know it's
crazy.
gonna piss his
When you
kids
get
off,
Stevie Knighted by
and
your
then
own dad,
two, he don't think that
You
they
know
giving
how I
him
know it's a
real
cult?
enough
Remember when
scenarios.
the Christians went and said, you know what, in the name of Jesus, we're gonna kill these people. Don't that sound familiar? In the name of Jesus, we're gonna enslave those people. Oh, any religion did that. I just took the
Now,
shorthand, but everybody did that. In the name.
I do think that some people, like in the scenario that he given, I do think that some people do believe that our constitution will hold up strong enough that something like that won't happen. Even though I will say Trump, he is pushing that little thin line. He is like not pushing it. He been trying to like step over it and stepping back. So he is pushing it with some of the things that he does. But I do think that people believe that our constitution can kind of hold up and we won't see like somebody turn into like a full blown dictator.
Name of their religion. They did that. They're doing that right now.
yo, people never miss a
I'll
chance
never miss a chance.
to shit on
I
Christians.
will
You
never
are
miss a
like,
chance.
and you making me
I will
defend them
never
because
miss
you overdo it so much. You like, oh, they're a cult. Jesus, man. I'm like, holy shit! Every video of a second chance.
But see,
Yeah.
Well,
even in
get off
that
your
instance,
chest.
Yeah.
when
But
you
I
say
just did. But that's
like you sound just like the grandpa whenever he was like just unapologetic about the stuff that he was saying. Now you sound like it when you're talking about Christianity. Like you see how like y'all both the same on different types of the different sides of the spectrum.
every religion. I'm gonna be fair to everybody else. It's not just one. It's
No,
everybody,
no, it's
and
always
it's the same call. It's the same. It's the same ammo that you guys are using. The same call. If there must be a G, there must be a reason. It's like this guy. To you, this guy is Jesus Christ. To you, it's like yeah, whatever he says goes. If I bring my son and try to sacrifice this, well, that's what God says, right? You're telling me this because I have the trauma of my childhood where me going to church and you're telling me these stories and everybody's nodding like, yeah, this makes sense. Abraham brought his son and he's trying to murder, and then you saw a fiery bush and he said, that's cool. I was just testing you. Oopsie, joke.
Mm-mm.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. Your son is traumatized, but that's cool. Yeah, I do have PTSD from that because everybody in my church nodding. I'm like, niggas, I'm the son. God damn, bro. Damn.
Yeah, I think
But
that way
that's
you'll
just one
see
incident in that
families get to the point that it's
church.
divided where you would even endorse the killing. You have to admit that some of it is cultish. And like, to me,
Yeah,
to see
it
a parent
is.
talk about their child that way, that
But
they
like I
helped
said,
create
I don't think they
themselves,
taking
and
it
talk
as
about you
serious
support this
as
man
the
that you've
kids
never
are
met,
because I
that you
think they
don't
know
know,
they can
that
like
you've never
raise bait
lived
their
with, that
kids.
you just worship so much that you would endorse him and his execution of your kids because you believe everything he does is just. This is a cult. You don't even know the reason. You just assume it's going to be like the man is always ethical, which as the most ardent principle, I don't even know how you could believe most of the things he does is necessarily for your good. You might say some, but you think that everything he does is for your all good? No, you're in a cult. You have a cult mentality. It might not be no hoods, but there's definitely a cult aspect to it. I've never believed in anybody in my life the way you believe about a man you never met. If my own mom killed somebody that way or ordered it, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
There was
Yeah.
a time that we didn't
Again,
even
I
talk
don't think they're
about
taking it
politics, like
serious.
even within your family. It's kind of taboo. Now it's really open about it, and people know who their people are voting for. It's very out there. My parents were hiding it from
Because you
me. They're
can't
like,
say
hey,
that. Because the two
we
kids seem
don't
like
talk
they
about
turned
that. They
out
didn't talk
fairly
about work. They
decent. They
didn't talk
seem
about.
like they are
There's some
astonished at
policies
what their
at some
parents are saying.
places of work
So it
where
ain't like
we
it's
do
something
not
that
talk
they just
politics. I
indoctrinated
feel
their
like
kids
today,
into. It's just
if you
they
go
grew
vote,
into different
don't put the
views
things, because you're supposed to have
and
a
now
little
they're
cubicle
expressing
where
it.
you're
And
just
the older
put a table.
grandparents'
Everybody
views is
knows.
like
You
from the
put it on
old
social
school,
media. You
and
just
they not giving good
it doesn't matter.
hypotheticals.
You don't. It's not as close as
They
it was
giving like
before.
black
It's
and
kind of
white
a weird thing to
hypotheticals,
see that,
which is
but
crazy
now
because the
that's
parents
a
are
shift.
still getting it
Even my
wrong. They still
parents that
choosing
back then they were
the
not talking
bad
to me
stuff.
about politics. Now we do have conversation about that. Is it good? Is it bad? I think it's good that people are open and able to talk about it, but and what your people are willing to kill people in commies and all people in California, they need to be gone. That's a white ruckus right there.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I hear what you're saying about
He said the
talking
white
about it.
ruckus.
I don't even like the fact that we talk about it more, to be honest
You
with you.
don't like it?
I don't. And the main reason I don't like it is not like a, it was never like a thing that I invested myself out to the utmost degree because generally election cycles would pass and a lot of the same old would be unfolding. And you could coexist in a world where you have people with like starkly different political opinions, but it didn't mean that you got.
Yeah, and that's another thing I would say. Growing up, like your political opinion wasn't as taboo as it is now. Like growing up, you could bring it up. It did cause like maybe some arguments, but it was nothing like that was too extreme to where you just couldn't hang out afterwards. But now it does seem like it's a little bit different. Like now it's like, yo, you best keep your political opinions to yourself. Otherwise, people gonna like crucify you for how you think of like some of the simplest things where you would think you're like, shouldn't all of y'all want this? But it is different now sharing your political opinions compared to like, I don't know, like 10, 15 years ago.
Were so far apart that like humanity was completely lost. And now it's like we're in such a different age where you can't afford not to think about it because literally it could affect everything. Affect your travel plans, your work plans, your business plans, everything. Politics is optional as long as things are safe, as long as the status quo remains. And so when things are optional, you can choose not to talk. And that's was the choice I made a lot of the times. But now things are very, very different. And you're seeing things bleed into every aspect of life. Like I saw a couple people in my own social circle start to talk politics, and when I found out why, I couldn't stop laughing because these people worked in the arts industry, and they're like, "Oh, politics is just divisive. I just don't want to." And then all their fucking funding got slashed because apparently museums and funding fucking dance programs is no longer important. After school programs are not important. And because a lot of that federal funding gets cut, now they want to talk about it. It's like, well, you waited till after the motherfucker everyone warned you about gets in power to now. So now you understand. If you're one of the many people who's getting
No.
targeted by ICE or whatever it is, like you don't have an option to not care because you might have to move involuntarily. If you're one of the many people who has a business who does international trade, which is most businesses nowadays, you don't have an option not to care. So I'm not sitting here telling people what they have to focus their time on, but I don't think you can be mad at people for changing. And watching this conversation is a perfect example of how ubiquitous it's become. Imagine being those kids who
Now I
didn't
can
care,
see
and
as
your parents are advocating
why
for you to be like
the
dying
daughter and son
because
would put their
they're
grandparents
like you
on
can't not
camera
care
like
when your
this.
parents change that much.
That's
If
crazy.
my mom, like, I'm picturing myself in that situation, right? My mom has said something like that to me. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, she dead to me.
Well, because you're dead to her too. You're potentially dead to her too.
No,
That is crazy.
because she stopped
See,
being
my
my
mother,
mother.
she old school Christian, so I know she
Anytime
wouldn't.
you're sitting here
She
saying
definitely
you're
ain't going for
advocating for
that.
a stranger's policy, even if
She'd
you
have
know
been,
someone with
she'd
kid's
have been
dead,
like
and
any
you're
type of
doing it
life. Like I love
callously
my
with
mother.
no
She
regard,
always been
there's
like
not even.
a
I
good,
can imagine
morally
a world where I could maybe understand.
correct person.
This is not it. He didn't get zero empathy. Oh, if he killed you, like he had a reason.
But she also stopped being a human. On top of that,
Yeah,
that's inhuman. If she stopped being a mother, she stopped being a human. Yeah, I get it.
So
We had this conversation. Was talking to your mom, and I said the same thing to my mom, and that shocked her because you said if you was not a good person, I would not chill with you.
yes,
And I said the same thing with my mom because that's true. It's like, hey, if I we cool and everything and stuff, but that's a good person. I don't care if you're my mom. If you're not cool, you're out.
I don't mean like
Yeah.
we have an argument and we disagree.
No, that's not what we
You know, but I mean like you try to steal from me. I wouldn't keep anyone in my life who tries to rob me. I'm not gonna keep you because you blood. Because that's a character issue. Like you better have some
Nah,
circumstances
I
that
ain't
are
telling you.
crazy for me.
Listen, I don't think they need to disown their parents. I don't think they need to put their parents on camera in these type of situations. I think they should have got better hypotheticals so their parents can say, "Yeah, well, in this situation, we see it differently." But I do think in this day and age, having that type of blind loyalty can be dangerous if they truly believe in what they're saying. But I don't think they really believe it. I think they were just messing around with their kids, not on some like jokingly stuff, just knowing like he said, he don't think any of that will happen. But saying that the president had proof, listen, he just did it. He just did it in Venezuela, and I still don't even know if they ever found proof. They those was drug traffickers that they was the boats they were shooting down. So it is something that blind loyalty. Now you can kick rocks with that. They don't need that. But in the same instance, listen, I love my dad. He is straight conservative. He not Republican. Probably if you ask him, he'll tell you he voting Democrat. But if you ask his values on stuff he believe in, it's pretty conservative, like Republican. So he a little bit odd. The algorithm is messing him up. I love him. He has always told me to be a good person, to stand, stand 10 toes down, behave myself and like an honorable man. But I wouldn't dare put a camera in his face and ask him something like, "So how do you feel about transgender?" I know his answer is gonna be wild about that. Like he it's just what it is. Like they should have put their grandparents on camera like that. But the grandparents should have known, like, hey, let me answer this a little bit better so these kids won't be going crazy looking at us like we straight up in a clan.
Need to understand. You better have a drug addiction that I'm trying to save you from or something. But you just stealing with, even though you know I would give you so much. Oh no, we got a big problem. I feel like I can close my eyes and not have to worry about shit. Like when I invite you to my house, it's not because you're my mom. I invite you to my house and let you stay here because I know you'll make my house safe.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here because I done kind of lost the plot. I think they're trying to tell people that you shouldn't, like, I guess you can kind of like cut your parents off if they don't believe in you, but I don't think I don't like that part of it. I think that it should be a situation where you communicate with your parents, like you have to see some off camera first, because off camera they might be a little bit more like inclined to be like, all right, we kind of see what you was talking about. But that's a situation where you can fix and talk to your parents about that. Cause I really just think they were doing it because they know their kids are, maybe they feel like their kids are too far left and they just kind of was like, oh, we just gonna say this thing to kind of like, cause we know it'll upset them and make them mad. But at the end of the day, they probably know that it's gonna be love. And clearly, you seem like you raised some kids. They understand what you saying is wrong. So clearly, you raised them to be pretty good, and they kind of understand. It's just a situation where like it should have been a conversation in house, but it just got displayed to the world. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.